He just dropped the king of the ring to his knees with one F5 and walked away like nothing happened. If this is your first time joining us, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to always get updated, because what Brock Lesnar did to Oba Femi tonight is going to change the entire landscape of WWE heading into SummerSlam. This was not part of the plan. This was not in the script anyone expected. And by the time you finish watching this video, you're going to understand exactly why the WWE Universe is losing its mind right now. Let's set the scene, because the details matter here. Oba Femi walked into Monday Night Raw on June 29th as the freshly crowned king of the ring. He had just survived a brutal gauntlet at Night of Champions, defeating Jey Uso in the finals to claim the crown. He had momentum. He had the spotlight. He had every right to walk out there and demand whatever championship opportunity he wanted, whether that meant stepping up to Roman Reigns or setting his sights on Sami Zayn. The entire arena was electric, fully expecting Femi to announce his next conquest. Nobody, and we mean nobody, expected what happened next. Because before Oba Femi could even finish his sentence, the lights shifted, the music hit, and Paul Heyman walked out. And right behind him, the man himself, Brock Lesnar. Now think about that for a second. Paul Heyman has not been seen consistently on WWE programming in a long time. His sudden reappearance alone would have been enough to send shockwaves through the arena. But paired with Brock Lesnar, a man who has unfinished business with Oba Femi dating back to before WrestleMania 42, that is when you knew something explosive was about to happen. Lesnar didn't rush to the ring with violence right away. No, he played it smart. He played it cold. He stood across from Femi and started talking, almost respectfully at first, congratulating him on winning the tournament. But then the tone shifted. Lesnar brought up something that has clearly been eating at him, accusing Femi of talking behind his back, of taking shots at him while he was away from television. And then Lesnar said the line that everybody is replaying right now. He looked Femi dead in the eyes and said, quote, "Talk trash, get hit." And he meant it. In one violent, split-second motion, Lesnar drilled Femi with a low blow that dropped the king of the ring instantly. Before Femi could even process what happened, Lesnar scooped him up and planted him with a thunderous F5 in the middle of the ring. The crowd inside that arena went absolutely silent for a moment, then erupted. This was not a handshake moment. This was not mutual respect. This was Brock Lesnar reminding the entire roster exactly who he still is. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because Lesnar didn't linger. He didn't pose. He didn't even wait for a reaction. He simply turned around and walked out with Heyman, leaving Femi laid out in the middle of the ring. And if you know anything about Brock Lesnar's history, you know that is exactly his pattern. Show up, deliver devastation, and disappear before anyone can respond. It is a move that has frustrated opponents for years, and tonight, Oba Femi became the latest victim of it. Now, most competitors would have stayed down. Most competitors would have needed time to recover both physically and mentally from an attack like that. But Oba Femi is not most competitors. He pulled himself up off that mat, grabbed a microphone, and said something that the entire wrestling world is now talking about. He called out exactly what Lesnar does, accusing him of hitting and running, of never sticking around to actually finish what he starts. It was a bold accusation to make moments after getting flattened, but it was also exactly the kind of fire that has made Oba Femi must-watch television. And then things escalated even further. Femi made his way backstage to confront Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. And this is where the story takes its most shocking turn of the night. Femi told Pearce that he was willing to give up his guaranteed World Championship opportunity, the one he earned by winning King of the Ring, in order to settle his score with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Let that sink in for a second. A guaranteed title shot is one of the most valuable opportunities in this entire industry. Competitors spend years chasing that kind of chance. And Oba Femi just looked at it and said, "Not yet." His exact reasoning was almost chilling in how calm it sounded. He told Pearce that the championship will always be there, that it isn't going anywhere, and that he can cash it in whenever he wants. But this situation with Lesnar, in his words, needed to end, and he intended to be the one who ended it. That is not the mindset of a man chasing gold. That is the mindset of a man chasing vengeance. So Adam Pearce made it official backstage. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. But Lesnar wasn't done raising the stakes either. Through Heyman, Lesnar made it clear that a regular match would not be enough. He wanted something with no escape, no countout, no easy way out for either man. He demanded the match take place inside Hell in a Cell. Think about the symbolism of that for a moment. Hell in a Cell is not just a stipulation. It is a statement. It is the structure WWE reserves for rivalries that have crossed the line from competition into something far more personal. And for Brock Lesnar to specifically request that structure tells you everything you need to know about how seriously he is taking this third encounter with Oba Femi. Because make no mistake, this is not their first meeting. This rivalry stretches back to before WrestleMania 42, when Lesnar answered an open challenge issued by Femi. That collision ended with Femi pulling off a victory that shook the wrestling world, a result so significant that it reportedly pushed Lesnar to the brink of stepping away from in-ring competition altogether. For a brief moment, fans genuinely wondered if that was the last time we would see Brock Lesnar compete. But here he is again, back, focused, and clearly carrying a grudge that never actually disappeared. The question everyone is asking right now is simple. Why now? Why did Lesnar choose this exact moment, on the night Femi was celebrating his biggest career achievement, to reignite this rivalry? Some are speculating that Lesnar simply could not stomach watching Femi rise to King of the Ring status without responding. Others believe this has been building behind the scenes for months, with Lesnar waiting for the perfect moment to strike when Femi was at his most vulnerable, distracted by celebration instead of preparation. And then there's Paul Heyman's involvement, which cannot be overlooked. Heyman does not simply show up for no reason. Every single time Heyman steps out from behind the curtain, it signals something monumental. His return alongside Lesnar suggests that WWE is positioning this Hell in a Cell match as one of the defining storylines heading into SummerSlam, a show that will already be absolutely stacked with high-stakes matches across 2 nights in Minneapolis. Now here's something to think about while we keep building toward the conclusion of this story. Brock Lesnar has competed inside Hell in a Cell before, and history shows it tends to bring out his most ruthless, most dominant side. Combine that with Oba Femi's relentless physicality and refusal to stay down, and you have all the ingredients for one of the most violent encounters WWE has produced in recent memory. Before we get to how this story wraps up, let's test your wrestling knowledge with 2 quick questions. Drop your answers in the comments below. First question: what major event did Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar first collide at before WrestleMania 42? Second question: who is Brock Lesnar's longtime advocate that returned alongside him tonight to confront Oba Femi? Type your answers below, and let's see how many of you really know your wrestling history. So where does this leave us heading into SummerSlam? Oba Femi has sacrificed a guaranteed championship opportunity, choosing pride and vengeance over gold. Brock Lesnar has re-emerged with Paul Heyman by his side, sending a brutal message that he still controls this rivalry. And now, the 2 men will step inside the most unforgiving structure in WWE, with no rules, no countouts, and no way out, to finally settle a score that has been building for over a year. Whatever happens inside that cell in Minneapolis, one thing is certain. This is not going to be a normal match. This is going to be a war, and only one man is walking out as the one who finally closes this chapter for good. Make sure you stay locked in with us, because the road to SummerSlam is just getting started, and we will be right here covering every shocking moment along the way.